Okay, I'm going to go over the answers to assignment 4 as well as looking at the solutions to this. I'm going to show you where the marks come from as well. Okay, so we've got 330 milliliter bottles and empty glass bottles that weigh 83 grams. There are 169 bottles in a tray. We want 23 trays. We know that a litre of soft drink is 1 kilogram. So 1 litre or 1000 millilitres is 1 kilogram. Can the supermarket's order be delivered in one van load? Okay, so 330 mils then will be the same as 330 grams. So if I do 330, add on my 83. Now I've said before, there are lots of different ways of doing this. If you've done it a different way, don't start panicking right now. You'll probably find that you come up with the same answer. So each bottle weighs 413 grams. There are 169 bottles per tray, which is 69,797, and we are still in grams at the moment. The supermarket wants 23 of these, but before we do that, I'm going to change this into kilograms. So I'm going to divide that by 1,000. Get 69.797 kilograms. Now I'm going to times that by 23, not by 32, times 23. Which is 1,605.331 kilograms. Okay, so that's how much it's going to weigh. The delivery van can take a maximum load of 2 tons. Now 2 tons is 2,000 kilograms. 1,605.331 kilograms is less than 2,000 kilograms. Now remember what I said, we need to assume that the marker doesn't know that. You need to tell me. Okay, therefore, or so, it can all be delivered in one van load. Okay, marks for this then. Now, however way you have worked it out, you'll get marks for finding the weight of one tray. So your first mark will come from here. You'll get your second mark for finding your total weight in kilograms, and you will get your third mark for comparing it to the 2,000 and answering the question. So that's where your 3 marks come from in this one. Okay, number 2. Robert bought a house 5 years ago for 142,000. It's increased, pink colour change didn't work, change back to blue, by 6.1% for each of the 4 years. How much is it worth now? Okay, now I'm going to write 1,000, try again. So it's increased, so we add it on to the 100. So that gets me 106.1%, which has a decimal. To get to a decimal, divide it by 100. Is 1.061. Now it's for 4 years, so we do 1.061 to the power of 4 times 142,000. Now a couple of people have said they've had trouble using a scientific calculator, so just so we are clear on this, that 1.061 to the power of 4 means 1.061 times 1.061 times 1.061 times 1.061. That's what the power of 4 means. It means times by itself 4 times. If you don't want to use the power button on your calculator, you can always type it in that way. Okay, so doing 1.061 to the power of 4 times 142,000. My calculator disappears as soon as I start to write here, so 179949. 0.18. Now we're dealing with money, so normally we would round to 2 decimal places, but we've been asked to round to 2 significant figures. Okay, so 2 significant figures means 2 numbers other than 0. So in my first 2 numbers, I've got a 1 and a 7. After the 7, I've got a 9, which pushes that 7 up to an 8. So I get 1, 8, and then I fill in my 1, 2, 3, 4 remaining spaces up to my point with zeros. So it'll be 180,000. 4 marks for this one. You get 1 mark for your 1.061 for getting the correct multiplier. You get 1 mark for doing it to the power of 4. You get 1 mark for your unrounded answer and 1 mark for your rounded answer. That will give you your 4 marks. Number 3, William's family went on holiday to New York. He spent an average of $142 for 14 days. They took 2,500 with them. When they got home, the bank would only change money multiples of 10. £1 is $1.24. How much did they get back? Okay, so 142 times 14 will give us how much they spent in total. 142 times 14. So altogether they spent $1,988. They had 2,500 with them, so take that away. It's $512. They will only change money multiples of 10, so imagine you'd have to have it as £10 notes. And to change it, they're not going to change that $2 there, so they're only going to change the $510. We're changing back to pounds, so we divide by 1.24. So 510 divided by 1.24 is £411.29. Now it's money, we want it to the nearest penny, which is 2 decimal places. Okay, 4 marks for this one then. Your first mark comes from calculating the amount they spent. Your second mark comes from taking away to find out how much they've got left. Your third mark comes from working out how much they could change back, and your fourth mark comes from your final answer correct to 2 decimal places. Number 4. Flight leaves the UK or Great Britain at 22:47, arrives in New York at 1:10. New York is 5 hours behind the time in London. How long did the flight take? Okay, so they left at 22:47. They arrived at 01:10 New York time. That was 5 hours behind London. So if I add 5 hours onto that, plus 5 hours, that gets me to 06:10. So the flight went from 22:47 to 06:10. Okay, I'm going to add up my minutes first. So that's going to be 13 minutes to get me to 11 o'clock. From 11 o'clock, this is where my fingers come in useful. I'll go 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 7 hours. We want to go to 6:10. We have another extra 10 minutes. So altogether, 7 hours, 23 minutes. 2 marks for this one. You get your first mark to if you start to work out journey times. So if you do something like convert the time here or make some attempt at starting to correctly work out your time difference, you'll get your mark. You'll get your second mark for completing the calculation. So it's out of 2. That was either that one or that one, depending on what you do first. The second part to this, part B, we want to see whether or not they have saved enough. Okay, so let's see. Mr. and Mrs. Williams, the two children aged 4 and 10 want to travel to this flight. They want to buy premium economy non-flexible tickets. Premium economy non-flexible tickets. They're $810 per adult. They also buy travel insurance for all 4 in their party. There's my travel insurance here. Going to pay by credit card, which is a £6 booking fee, and they've got 3,500. So let's see. Right, so there's 2 adults. Myself some room here. So I'm going to do my 810 times 2, which is 1,620. That's for the 2 adults. Children pay 70% of the adult fare. Now there's 2 children going. I've already doubled it to work out that. So I'm just going to do 70% of the 1,620. You can do 70% of the 810 and double it. It doesn't matter what way around you do it. Percent doesn't change. It always means out of 100. Doesn't matter that we're now doing a holiday question rather than a percent question. Still means the same thing. Keep going for the wrong calculator. So 70 divided by 100 times 1,620 is 1,134. So that's how much they're going to pay for the flights. We've also got travel insurance. Travel insurance is at £85 per person. I times that by 2. 85 twos are 170. Children pay 40% of that. Again, we've got 2 children going. I've already doubled it. I'm going to use my work that I've already done. 5 by 100 times 170. Comes out £68. Okay, so there's my insurance, there's my tickets. Let's add it all together. So we've got our 1,620, or 1,134. We've got 170. We've got 68, and we've also got our £6 booking fee. Add that up. 1620, add 1134, add 170, add 68, add 6, and we get £2,998. And we are asked, have they budgeted enough? Again, you're assuming, I don't know, 2,998 is more than 3,500. So we need some kind of comparison between the two. So we can say, yes, they have budgeted enough. As 2,998 is less than 3,500. Now you can, if you prefer, put actual amounts in there. You can take them away and say, yes, they've budgeted enough. They will have, what would that be, £502 left over. So anything, as long as it's comparing the 2 amounts, will get you the final marks there. Okay, marks for this one then. You'll get a mark for picking out the 810 correctly. You'll get your second mark for your total ticket price. So for getting the 1620 and the 1134. You'll get your third mark for your total insurance, so for both of these. And you'll get your final mark for adding them all together and making a comparison. And that will give you your 4 marks for that one. Okay, I'm going to have to stop this video now and go on to a different video for the rest. Okay.